All righty then. How's everybody doing tonight? I actually like this setup. This is nice. This is nice. I'm gonna have to, we're gonna have to talk for sure. Um, well, as she said, I'm Drew Dockery. I will be honest as well. I come from a very negative family as well. So I'm joining the room, right? But let's do something. Do something for me. From now on, let's not talk about where you've come from as far as your family. That's a fact. We can't change that. But going forward, whatever you speak is going to be your truth. So that's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to focus on. We want to focus on speaking and becoming whatever it is that we want to, not worrying about where we come from. Now, the crazy part about my family is we church folks. The James A. Dockery Center up here on Sycamore, that's my grandfather. But they still negative too, so it don't really matter who believes what. There's, you know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, be negativity involved, even when there's great purpose involved. And that's the crazy thing. There's so many principles biblically, that people need to apply to business. And that's what I try to teach. My company is called The Connector's Corner. The Connector's Corner is the company. I am a business consultant. And typically what I do is I help sales professionals and entrepreneurs not leave money on the table by doing 3 simple things. Number 1 is monetizing your relationships. Number 2 is growing your network. And number 3 is making proper connections. I'm also the author of what I call the Connector's Handbook. I wrote this book just to be a blueprint for most folks. When you get into different rooms, connecting with different people, you want to learn the network. And I think that's the first step to being a great business owner, having a powerful network. I'm a nerd. So I'm a major history buff, right? So I look at history a lot. In the early 1900s, people like John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, who else? Named J.P. Morgan. A lot of those guys had strong networks, which is why they were able to put together everything they put together. I think if I was to really name what I do as a business coach, describe it as a position, I am a deal engineer. I am a deal engineer. So what I do is I connect one person with another person who has a product or a service and get paid in the middle. And from our neighborhoods, we call that the middleman. But most business can't be done without a middleman. Somebody has to play that middleman position. So give him the okay, he's good. Exactly. But even that's worth $1 million, because a lot of times it's your network. Your network is going to create your net worth. So who is going to take you somewhere, and you have to really do an audit on who when it comes to business. Yes, ma'am.
That's crazy that you said that, because the gentleman, I used to do red carpet interviews in New Jersey, and John Blasingame, he's the owner of Hip Hop Hair magazine, and I used to, and New Day Associates, and that was his motto that he went by. Network is your network, and I used to say that all the time when I was on television and stuff, and interviewing celebrities for him. So that's affirmation. Thank you.
You good? What's good, Marshawn? Is there garbage somewhere?
You gave 3 Jews.
Yep.
At the beginning, you said
monetize your relationships.
Grow your network.
Growing your network is number 2. And making proper connections. Making proper connections. See, the goal for every entrepreneur, you want to be able to get yourself in a place where you know enough people that if you post something, people will give you an answer. Not even just them liking it. They're going to see it. But you want them to give you an answer. So like, case in point, I wrote about it in my book. I call it the $1 billion room, right? What happens is, as you're steadily building your business and you're building your network of people, now that's the first thing I want you to do. Write that down. Do an audit on your network. Audit your network. If they ain't talking about nothing, get them out of there. If they ain't talking about no money, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I hope y'all don't mind us talking about money. If you get sick or break out in hives when somebody mentions $1, this is not the conversation for you. You know what I mean? So when it comes to auditing your network, who you're connected to is going to take you somewhere. So in the book, I wrote about the $1 billion room, right? The $1 billion room came about because I was in the process of building my first 6-figure business. Now, it took me, I think maybe, okay, that was 2016. So it took me 11 years, no, 13 years to build my first 6-figure business. And that's, trial and error, failing at everything, right? I got into a place where I was connected with a young lady. We had just met that summer. Now, mind you, I was married. So it wasn't that type of party. We were friends, we were business colleagues, and she felt comfortable with me going to this event that she was invited to. It was strictly just invitation only. Now, Buffalo got a lot of money. And I know if y'all go outside of this area, even here, we had houses on Hamlin Park in that area. Ridiculous what they cost now. Never expected that. But the fact is, we've got a lot of money here. So it's a lot of billionaires and millionaires here. We just don't know them in the inner city because they live other places. You know what I mean? So they might live downtown. They got a lot of lofts and luxury apartments going up downtown. It's a bunch of people who got some money. It's just we got to figure out how to get ourselves in the room. So this particular event, I was invited. And I didn't want to go. I'll just be honest. At that time, I'm not really one to just hop up and go anywhere with anybody, even though I did trust her for what she does as a business because she was a consultant, but her arena of business was different. However, we went to the event, and when I got there, it's right on Delaware Avenue. And it's one of those old buildings. I've been riding by it for years. My grade school, grammar school was over there. So we rode by it every day. Never did I ever think it was a country club in there. There's a country club in there. Yeah, listen, $50,000 per person a year to get involved. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a good place. Once I pulled up and parked, The rule of thumb for me, though, when I go to an event, I try to make sure I dress the way I want to be addressed. And a lot of people, especially from our community, and it's just us in here, so I'll just keep it real. We have a hard time dealing with people who are well dressed or have money or they look nice or they like to dress nice. What she was talking about as far as your good attitude, that comes from how you appear, how you appear when you go into a room, your appearance, your makeup. I teach something to my clients called the A3 formula. It's on my YouTube channel, so you can write it down. I'll give you my YouTube information later, and most of the stuff that I talk about is on there. But the A3 formula is number one, attraction. You want to be attractive, not sexually, but just attractive to people in a way where they want to come and see what you do. They want to meet you. They want to have a conversation with you. So that's the first part, attraction. The second part is acceptance. You want them to accept you into their environment and they're comfortable doing business with you. The third A is acquisition. That's where the money come in. So now they're ready to do business with you, right? Okay, so now we go back to the business room, the $1 billion room. We got that set. That's the formula I'm going in here with. So I go in here suited, suit and tie, and I'm well groomed. At the time, I didn't have a beard. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't have cared. But the interesting part about this meeting was it was a bunch of angel financiers in the room, right? Angel financiers are people who make investments in companies and they don't want their name mentioned.
Oh, I need them.
Yeah, it's a lot of them around here. It's a lot of them around here. Trust me. And there's ways to get to that money. Actually, it's a
You said, say that again?
Y'all have met one
Yeah, we have.
angel financer.
in this room. Y'all
Yeah.
have met one.
No, y'all really
I
didn't.
brought y'all one.
Last week. I mean, the last meeting.
Mr. McCarley.
There you go.
Said call him.
Hey, when somebody do that, here's the thing though. You gotta go to them with your idea intact. It can't be, it has to be together. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what the plan is. This is how it's supposed to look. This is where we're going. If you can describe all of that and it's legit and it looks good, they'll give you all the money in their wallet. And that's kind of business you want to be able to build. So this $1 billion room experience, that's what was happening. At the time, I had created my own business, but I wasn't doing nowhere near the kind of money they was doing. And they was like, hey, now it's not us in the room at this time. It's a lot of, other cultures. Yes. Yes. But as I got there, the one thing I don't do when I get into a room, I don't rush to just meet everybody. So it's not just me being rude or being mean. I'm trying to figure out energies first, see how everybody is moving. And if we can get connected on that level, then I'll come through and have a conversation like, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? So you make it simple, you make it easy. That way you take a lot of pressure off yourself when it comes to doing your business, because now they're coming to you. And that's the first part of that formula, the attraction formula. By the time the meeting started, they had a 30-minute preview to where people was just networking and meeting people and talking or whatever, right? So I stood over near where the drinks was, like the orange juice. It's breakfast time. It's 8:30 in the morning. So I'm drinking orange juice, mixing it with apple juice. Guy comes over, hey, you must be one of the angel financiers. I'm like, what makes you think that? He was like, well, you're the best dressed person in the room. And I started to look around. He was right. A lot of them old dudes in there, they was not looking the way they needed to look and presenting $1 million. Here go a note for you. You can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare.
And they like what you're going through. Didn't I say that when I first?
You cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. You gotta look like something. The billionaire in the room, he was well dressed, and this dude that came over to me and talked to me, he was a world banker. I didn't even know we had them in Buffalo. I thought that was just a New York thing. So, come on.
Thirsty, got you. Sorry.
You good. So yeah, I found out he was a world banker. But the key about him was he knew everybody else in the room. So what I did was use him to get connected with everybody else who I needed to get connected with. When you go network, and you guys got to go to networking events. If you're in business, you have to be around other business people, even if they're doing the same thing. There is no such thing as bad competition. No such thing. When you look at, I would say different franchises like McDonald's will buy up a corner and they there for a while. After a little while, you'll see other businesses set up around McDonald's. Why? Everybody goes to McDonald's. So, I got to get some garbage bags. Let me stop by Dollar General. Got to get something. Let me stop by Family Dollar. Dollar Tree got the deals. Let me go to Dollar Tree real quick. And that's how their businesses work. They always set up around each other. And they do that because it's strategic. Even Burger King, they got the same thing. They sell burgers like McDonald's, but they're not really in the business of burgers. They're in the business of market share. Not even real estate. People say, they want real estate. It's not really real estate. It's market share. Market share is everywhere. And if you go to McDonald's outside of the U.S., they sell whatever that culture sells. They don't sell burgers to everybody else. They sell burgers to us. But you might go to Jamaica, if they got McDonald's in Jamaica, you might get some curry chicken or something like that. Curry, McDonald's, something. I'm serious. That's what it is. My nephew was in Dubai. Their McDonald's looks like a date night spot in Dubai. So you pull up, they got the mall, and they got McDonald's, look like something high-end restaurant. They got fancy plates and all types of stuff. It ain't nothing like what we see here at all. Yeah. But their idea of business is different when it comes to how they present it. So back to the $1 billion room. The key was I was there. What I found out was I was there for somebody else's presentation. I wasn't even there for a networking event or anything like that. They just allowed us to network because they understand the power of community when it comes to people who are in business getting together, right? So we network. They give everybody a chance to let the room know who's there or who they are. And it seemed like being an effective communicator is necessary, especially for Black men when it comes to business spaces. You have to be able to connect and communicate effectively. So when they gave me my chance to speak and just say a little bit about the project I was working on at that moment, they almost wanted to cut the presentation and say, hey, we want to hear about your legacy project. That's what I was building at the time. And of course, then I'm not there for that. I'm a guest. I didn't even pay to be in the room. I got here for free. I got here for free. You know what I mean? That's not even, I'm a guest, you know? But the problem, what I'm saying is this, your connections, your network, and all of that is the main foundation for your business. If you are not connected with the right people and the right resources, you'll never be able to get what you need to have for your business to be successful. And I know for a lot of us, especially in our community, we're the only communities that build single. Like we build alone. Like I want to do this by myself. It make you feel good, but it take forever. It take forever. You got to get connected with some other folks. So when you connect with other people, like look at the Arabs. No offense. They buying up everything though. They buying up everything. Yeah. Oh my God. I grew up on near Bailey and Kensington. Yeah. I was on Elmer. But see, that's the thing. It's not about them getting approved. They come with cash. Like even in Dubai, my nephew being in Dubai, I love Dubai. I got to go visit. I haven't been there, but he was like, they pay in gold. They come over here, they do get benefits. I will say that. However, they stack their money. It's 15 of them in a house. Yeah. They
years. Next thing you know, they moving out.
That's a fact.
But it's like they stack their bread and they invest it together too. So they live right there. And I'm sitting on my porch and I'm like, the old people be complaining. They growing crops in the front yard. Y'all not paying attention to what they.
Y'all not seeing what's happening.
Yeah, they cutting out the grocery market. They probably saving a couple $100 in the grocery. You know what I mean?
They not just cutting it out. They building their own supply to buy their own grocery stores. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, that got me. But yeah, so yeah, basically, you want to worry about your network. That's the first step to owning your business, really having a control over who you're communicating with. You want to do an audit on who you're connected to. And sometimes it's family. And sometimes you got to cut them loose. Jim Rohn says, I don't know if you know Jim Rohn. Y'all talk about Jim Rohn and no? Oh my God, y'all got to get into personal development. Your mind is the key. Like that is like a computer and it holds so much information. So what you're exposed to and you're taking in, you got to make sure that it's the right information. Like I don't watch TV. I haven't watched a TV show in forever because people call, now they got this ghetto TV on TV. I don't want to see that. I grew up in the hood. I'm all right. I don't need to see that.
I can't even watch.
Yeah.
I can't even watch the black movies. There's no disrespect to nobody.
Yeah.
Who's already living it. So why would sit there? Like I don't want to see what I'm already.
But see, that's media though. They glorify that.
No, they glorify it.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. They're glorifying that on purpose. That's a ploy. But that audit, doing that network audit and being connected to the right people. I would say if you're on social media, which you should be, it's impossible to have a business and expect to be successful and not have any social media. It's like you don't exist at this point. You got a whole generation of people who are coming into the world and all they know is computers. My son is better at editing videos at 12 than I am at 37. So it's something that we have to do. My dad, I just got him to text. He 82. The only reason why he started texting is because he was like, I'm tired of people calling me all the time. It's like, well, just text me. You ain't got to talk to him. When he found that out, it was it after that. My man, listen, if I ain't trying to talk to you, ignore quick. And then he'll text you what you want. But yeah, that's the key though. I would say that's the biggest, if I can give you guys anything to go with. All of that stuff I talked about is just little bits and pieces because we only got a little bit of time we can talk. However, that is the biggest key. Auditing your network. Who are you connected to? Because those are the people that are going to help you get to where you're trying to get to. When I built my first 6-figure business, I didn't build it with us. And that was hard because I did a training for somebody else's organization. And I realized nobody from my side of the company was in that room. Everybody that I was working with was outside of Buffalo, outside of New York State. They was all down south. They was in Texas. They was in California. They was in Arizona, but they was nowhere near New York. And I had to train somebody else's organization to do what I had done without them. And that's because you don't have a strong network here. So you got to have your network right. So connect with whoever you know in business. Who's doing business? What kind of business are they doing? It's not really about what they're doing. It's about who they know that they can connect you to. You know what I mean? So I would say that leverage your relationships. Leveraging your relationships is key. So y'all got any questions for me before I shut it down? Because I know we limited on time.
It was your like YouTube.
Yes. If you look me up on YouTube, it's under The Connectors Corner.
Like DE or just the
THE. Yeah, the connector. The Connectors Corner. Yeah.
D connect corner?
The Connectors Corner. Yep.
Corner?
Mm-hmm. The Connectors Corner. I'm sorry.
You got business card?
Nope. I don't even carry business cards. That's it's a reason behind that too.
What is the reason?
Huh? Nope. Mm-mm. The reason I don't, that's the point. If me being a business coach, I don't need to, okay. A business card is designed to be some sort of media for you, right? So if you're talking to the person, why do you need a business card? That's my point. That's my point. So my clients, they've seen their businesses change because now we're actually making a connection. You're becoming a friend. And now you want to come spend money with me because we're cool. You know me. Exactly. Now, I'm sorry.
I hear a lot of young people say this.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of texting. I'm old school. I'd rather talk to somebody.
That's fine. I teach an old school skill. So that being able to communicate and talk over the phone, that's going to help you excel depending on what your business is, because you want to be able to build those contacts and that connection.
Because I can hear what somebody's saying through the tone of their voice, how they respond.
Right.
I don't get that always from the text.
I get that.
Right.
Most of my clients, I have to meet them one-on-one. Typically, I like this because I can have a setting. It's group setting. I can talk to everybody at once. And then whoever got questions, because they all got different businesses, they'll let me know what's going on and we can discuss it. And everybody be like, oh, I was thinking of that, but I didn't ask that. So yeah, definitely business cards. It's just my thing. A business card should be used when you're not in the room. When you're in the room, you are your business card. You're your business card. They're buying you. You're your brand. You're your marketing. So it's all about you. Not in the room. I would say, okay, I go to a gym. I go to eSporta on Union near Sam's Club. If you go in there, next to the TV, it's like a little mantle landing place, and it's a bunch of business cards. If you can put your business card somewhere where you're not there to market, and somebody who needs that service is going to come by and be like, oh, I'm going to give her a call, or I'm going to give him a call, then that makes sense. You know what I mean? But anybody that you get a chance to talk to, they should be doing business with you directly. So you don't need a business card per se. And even the digital cards, I like the technology of it, but everybody's not technology savvy. So for what I'm doing, if I go to a meeting with Warren Buffett, I'm not giving Warren Buffett a business card. I'm going to take Warren Buffett's number and I'm going to call him on the phone like, hey, I'm coming to New York. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to hand him a business card. And most of the time, if you get a business card, what do you do with it? Listen, it's so many answers. The point is you never see it again. Right. Listen, I had bought some real nice business cards. It was a box of them, about 1,000 of them. Pretty, just well designed. My boy did his thing. I never opened it. It's been 7 years, and I didn't use it. It wasn't no point to. It just wasn't a point to. It was a waste, and I paid $300 for them cards. They wasn't cheap. Yeah. Well, no, I will say, depending on what your overhead is, look at what you do for yourself and for your business as an investment. Like, I'm not not bragging or nothing like that, but I like nice clothes. So, but I'm just saying, it's a business expense. It's a marketing expense. So when I go to a meeting, I have to look a certain way. I got to be, dressed a certain way. I can't just go in there.
Knowing you're not giving out information that we look at like, look how he dressed. How he gonna tell us how to?
Like I said,
You got money.
I was
You got money.
thank you. I'm favored. I'll put it that way. I'm favored. The Lord favors me.
Any questions? Any
I
questions?
didn't catch your name.
I'm Drew Dockery. Drew Dockery.
I put Dr. Drew.
Yo, that's funny. Yo, what's crazy is one of my friends whose organizations I used to train, he the only one that used to call me that. Dr. Drew, what's going on? I'm like, dude, you can't put that nowhere. But hopefully, got you. Well, this is my tagline. I usually tell everybody when I'm finished talking to them, make sure no matter what you do, you dream bigger, believe better, and you expect greater. It was good talking to y'all.